Hey, just got to get a rant out on the latest social justice warrior idiocy going on in Canada right now. There's never a shortage of issues coming up with that. But what we've got is the Vancouver Canucks, who have a logo that has incorporated the style used by local Indigenous groups on the West Coast, as they have for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's greatly admired art style and artwork, and they thought it was appropriate to have it on the hockey team that represents the West Coast. I mean, a lot of First Nations, Indigenous people go to the games, watch the games, and play hockey, so why not? Well, yeah, why not indeed? There's always somebody who's going to get their back up, so we've got this Indigenous historian who's telling them to get rid of the orca logo because it's cultural appropriation, it's insulting to natives, it's racist, the whole works. I mean, he dropped the buzzwords there, so he talks about, in sports teams in Cleveland, Washington, Edmonton, getting rid of racist and appropriated Indigenous logos and names. It's time the Canucks followed suit. Look at that logo. What's offensive about it? Again, it's just using art. It's popular on the West Coast. It's representative of the people out there. It's respected by the people out there. It's a sign of respect. They want a show of strength on their uniforms. We did have some real issues. One, I agree with. See here, the Cleveland Indians logo. That was a caricature. It's way out of date. And the biggest thing with that was Aboriginal people were saying, hey, I don't like that. I find it offensive. It insults me. Please, can you remove it? And Cleveland did eventually. I know some Cleveland fans are upset. But this one, I can understand. They're responding to changing times, changing acceptabilities. Had it been, again, something of native art from out in that part of the continent, maybe it would have been different. But this is a cartoon character of a native. But again, the Canucks logo is nothing like that. It's not a caricature of natives. It's a use of a type of art that is typical to them on the West Coast. But let's look closer at who are the people complaining then. Because the natives aren't. Sean Carleton, a historian and Indigenous Studies Professor in Winnipeg. You see, he's getting offended on their behalf. And I mean on their behalf. Let's get a closer look. Yeah, he's whiter than I am. Let's talk about privilege. Let's talk about insulting. Basically, and he won't say it outright, maybe he doesn't even know he's doing it, but he's saying to the natives and native groups, you guys are too dumb to get up and get offended by this and demand that it be taken down, so I'm going to do it for you because I'm smarter than you. I've studied Indigenous peoples. You guys are just Indigenous peoples. What would you know better than this fine professor who's specialized in studying you guys? This is the true insult. But they won't stop. That's what's got to be expected here and learned from this. So the Canucks actually went scrambling out. Thankfully, they didn't bend over and apologize and change their logo right away. And they went and talked to local native groups, chiefs, all sorts, even the head of the Assembly of First Nations. All of them said, we have no problem with that logo. We like it. It's nice. It's a symbol. It's respectful of native peoples. It's not a problem. But do you think the social justice warriors are going to stop there? You see, that's the thing. They've run out of stuff. The low-hanging fruit's gone. They have to make up stuff to be offended by now. But they're offended. The white, middle-class liberals are offended. The natives aren't. So you know what? Until the natives might be, who cares? But these teams, companies, places where you get all of this ridiculousness going on, they've got to start pushing back. Because these self-righteous social justice warriors won't stop. They'll go after your sponsors. They will pressure ticket holders. They will protest outside of your places. But they've only got power if you give it to them. So don't. Don't give it to them. Don't apologize. I'm looking forward to the Canucks maintaining that logo. I'm not a Canucks fan, but I appreciate their choice of a logo, and I hope that they stand up for themselves and set an example for other teams, because they're going to be coming after all sorts of other things soon.